Launched a probe to land on the far side of the moon and return with samples that could provide some insights into the differences between the less explored region and the better known near side, the one that we see all the time. 3 Chinese lunar probe missions are planned over the next 4 years, and China also has a 3-member crew on its own orbiting space station and wants to put astronauts on the moon by 2030.
Really cool. We have an in-depth look at what one Republican congressman is calling a Cuban Missile Crisis in space. Russia's developing anti-satellite nuclear capability in what was previously an off-limits location. Here is Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin.
The command to abort the launch has been issued.
For the second time in a year, Russia's space agency failed to launch a new heavy-lift rocket from its Far Eastern space complex, part of an effort to beat the U.S. in colonizing the moon. A third launch failed Tuesday, the same day Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin faced questions on Capitol Hill from lawmakers concerned about a more menacing aspect of the new space race. New intelligence suggesting Russia is developing an anti-satellite nuclear capability that would threaten U.S. space assets. If used in combat, it could blind the U.S. military.
It would have devastating consequences.
Concerns about anti-satellite weapons in space go back to 2007, when China first fired a ballistic missile at one of its satellites to demonstrate this new capability and threat. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Mike Turner raised alarm bells 2 months ago after seeing classified intelligence that suggested Russia planned to launch a nuclear anti-satellite weapon in space.
I believe that this is the Cuban Missile Crisis in space, and this administration is sleepwalking itself into an international crisis.
Last week, Russia vetoed a U.S. and Japan-sponsored UN resolution reaffirming the 1967 Outer Space Treaty, calling for nations to prevent a nuclear arms race in space. China abstained.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan called out Russian President Vladimir Putin, who has said publicly Russia has no intention of deploying nuclear weapons in space. If so, he asked, why did Russia veto the resolution? At the Pentagon, Jennifer Griffin.